this is Patty Bennett with PattyStamps.com. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I am here today to show you this really cute card. Do you love this? What a fun card for spring. I love this fence and my cute little flower pot. I'm going to show you how to make this. It is really easy when you use the hardwood stamp and a couple of tricks. So let me show you how. This hardwood stamp is new from Stampin' Up! It is in the Occasions catalog, which goes through June 1st, 2014, and it is available in wood or in clear mount. I actually have mine in wood. I just prefer my large background stamps in wood mount with the sticker on them. You can also get it in the clear mount where you would use your own large clear block. So either way works. And then you're going to need 2 pieces of cardstock, and this is a quarter sheet, so 8.5 by 11, cut in half again. You'll need 2 of these. I'm using crumb cake cardstock and soft suede ink. When I ink my large background stamps, I like to put them rubber side up and just tap my ink pad all over the rubber. And then when I stamp it, I like to pick up my stamp and stamp it down onto the rubber. And if you have difficulty with grabbing the larger stamps, you can leave it rubber side up and place your cardstock on top of the rubber and smooth it down either with your hand or with a brayer. Either way will work just fine. So then I just press down, make sure that I'm getting it pressed everywhere because that's a large stamp. And then usually it kind of sticks to your rubber, that's normal. And then you just pull it off and there you have this terrific hardwood stamp impression. Now, like I said, you're going to need 2 of those. So I've got another one already stamped. Then you're going to grab your Stampin' Up! Trimmer and you're going to slice this into pieces. So I'm going to put that in my trimmer and I'm lining up the top and the bottom of the dark line with the groove in the cutter because I'm just going to trim right down the center of each dark line. And you don't have to be super precise because we're going to end up sponging these anyway, but just so long as you can cut like that so that you're getting them in strips. So you're going to cut 1 whole piece, which will give you 6 of these, and that is for the 6 vertical pieces of your fence. Then you'll need 2 more pieces. So on another piece, you're going to cut out 2 more and set those aside. And let me show you how to make the great pointed tips on the fence. This is so easy. You're going to love this. You're going to grab your chevron punch. And I use it upside down so I can see where I'm punching. You slip your piece of fence in there, your fence board, and you just put it right up to the top like this so it's going to punch, and you squeeze, and then there you have your pointed fence top. Now, if it were just that easy to make a fence that way, right? All right, then after you get your 6 pieces, you're going to use your sponge dauber, and I dabbed it right back into that same soft suede pad, and you're going to sponge all the way along the edges and the tips of all 6 pieces. And when you get those done, you're going to really see how much character that sponging gives to your pieces of wood, because you can already see here the difference between the sponged and the not sponged. Doesn't that look great? They look really fantastic. So go ahead and do that to all 6 pieces. I'll be right back and show you how to put the card together. So now you should have your 6 pieces that have the pointed ends and they're all sponged, and then 2 more pieces that are sponged. They don't need to have the points on them because they will be used for the 2 horizontal pieces. You can see on this card that I used a light card base. I just used very vanilla, but I was kind of thinking that it might look neat to use a lighter blue color, and then it would kind of look like the sky. So for this one, I grabbed Pool Party. It's just half of an 8.5 by 11, and then I use my bone folder to get a nice crease. And I'm just going to see what that looks like for this one. I think it's going to look pretty cool. And you're going to just lay your 6 pieces onto your card, and I would suggest that you go ahead and just lay them on there before you start doing your adhesive so that you can get a feel for the spacing. And you can see from my finished sample that there really isn't too much space between them, maybe 1/16 of an inch or so in between each piece. And you'll use your snail and just put it along the back side of each of the 6 pieces. Lay it down on there. And you'll do that to all 6 of them. Now, if you wanted to do a shorter fence, I bet you could cut each of these in half and make a point on each end, and then you could have 2 short picket fences. So that might be something you want to think about doing for your project. And then once all 6 of those are on there, I just used my paper snips to go ahead and snip off at the bottom. So I trimmed them all. And then when your 6 pieces are on there, then you'll put your horizontal pieces on. And I liked to use my Stampin' dimensionals underneath those horizontals. You can see here, if I tip this for you, how much dimension that gives. It really looks great. And then I snipped off the ends of those, and I put some sponged ink on the ends of those as well. So I'll go ahead and have that finished and on my blog, and you can see how that's going to look with the blue versus the vanilla. Then to embellish the card, I used the word bubble framelit to put some clouds on there. And I know that they're very subtle, so what I did was I took the fine tip end of the pool party marker and I just did little stitch marks around the edge of them, just to give them a little bit of dimension to have them stand out against the vanilla card. And then I used some designer paper and I just freehand cut a pot. It wasn't very hard. It's just a rectangle with sort of 2 angled sides and then a rectangle at the top. And I sponged that with some more soft suede ink just to give it sort of a terracotta look. And then I did the flowers, and let me show you this fabulously cool trick for the flowers. I grabbed a piece of the designer paper from the Celebration Sweet Sorbet package, and my favorite new punch, the little petite flower. Of course it's a flower, so of course I love it, right? And then I just found a spot and I put my punch in and I centered it and I punched. And that gave me all these cute little different patterned flowers. Now, of course, you could do that with any patterned paper. You could also, of course, use the stamp set that goes with this, the Petite Petal stamp set. You could stamp those first and then you could punch them out. But I just thought it would be fun to see what it looked like with this. I thought that looked kind of cool. And then I used a little butterfly punch. And I found another spot in the designer paper with these fun little polka dots, and I just punched that out. And then on top of everything, I added my favorite accessory, and that would be the candy dots. So I chose different colors to put in the centers of each flower. The last little piece of embellishment would be at the bottom, and that's the grass. If you haven't played with the fringe scissors from Stampin' Up! Yet, these are really cool. You can see that they have multiple blades. You see all those blades there? And this is a fabulous way to use up your scraps. So I grabbed an old olive scrap, and if you do about 5 or 6 snips, that's going to be enough to go across the width of your card. And you can see you have just fabulous grass like that. But what I did, since I didn't want it to be perfectly flat across the top, I took my snips and I just did teeny little cuts like this, and I flipped it over and I did that again, and it just gave it a little more realistic look with grass, or at least that would look more like our lawn. I don't know, maybe yours is a little more perfect. And then you can take your finger and you can just fringe it up like this and give it some dimension. And then depending on how tall you need your grass to be, you can either use your trimmer or your scissors, and you can just snip off the height of grass that you need and apply that to your card. So I put that down along the bottom. So there you have it. Pretty quick and easy once you have the fun tips and tools to make it just a really fun card. I hope you enjoyed that.